About a month and a half ago, I made a video about removing my Thai constellation from soil and placing it in water. Since then, it has gotten one new leaf and the roots have absolutely gone crazy. So it's time to give it a bigger container. Plus, I'll talk about how I care for this. So let's check it out. This is where I have it right now. This is the Barena T10 vertical grow light. I just brought out my light meter just to kind of test out what kind of light it is getting. So it is around, I got my phone in front of the front of the light, so it's around 350 foot candles, which is exactly what I would like or what I would expect for this type of plant. Anywhere in that medium light range, so between 250 to kind of 500 foot candles is sufficient. Now, when you have plants that have higher variegation, you obviously want more light. Yeah, that's pretty decent. And if you want more light, then you can simply just move it closer. I just moved it about a foot. Now let's test it out here again. So now it's getting around 500. That is an acceptable amount of light as well. The sort of secret to growing plants in water is you want to make sure that you have sufficient oxygen in the water. Very similar to how you would grow a regular monstera or any plant. You want to make sure that the roots are well aerated and they're getting good airflow. So I have these little air pumps, which solves my oxygen issue in these plants. So there's just this little air stone. I put it in the water and I run it 24 hours a day. So I have two of these little air stone pumps. It is on, it's vibrating, but as you can see, there are no bubbles. So I decided to take one of them apart. I was curious to see if there was an actual like little pump or something like that, but apparently this little gizmo right here vibrates against a magnet, and it must create some pressure within this little housing here that causes some airflow. So now when I hook it back up to this little pump right here, I'm going to turn it on right there. So what this thing does, you can see vibrates back and forth, which is pretty sweet. And there are some air bubbles. Now there's not a ton, but at least it's working again. So I can kind of understand what this little gizmo is. I have no idea what it's called, but if I stop it, so I'll put my pencil up against it, so there's no vibrations, no bubbles. And when I let go, it just goes back and forth. And now we got bubbles. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm just gonna put the little cap back on, put the screws back on, and at least this thing is working for a little while longer. So I'm gonna have to do a little repair job to this one as well. But I just thought I'd show that. I find this stuff fascinating. I'm not an electrician or anything like that, but I like taking things apart and looking at the inside and just try to see if I can troubleshoot it myself and fix the problem. So I was about to buy another one on Amazon, but I thought, let's test this. And at least for now, got a couple little bubbles. So I'm hoping this ties us over for a little while before this thing conks out completely. I also keep a constant supply of nutrients in the water. So this is probably like less than half a liter. This is what I use for my fertilizer for pretty much all my houseplants, including my soil ones. It does have dosing for soil as well as hydroponics. So what I typically do is for every liter of water, I add in 1 milliliter of the Super Thrive Foliage Pro, and these plants absolutely love it. So right now I do have it in this little cover pot thing here. The reason for that is when you have light projecting onto roots in a clear container, you can get some pretty good algae buildup. So that just prevents light penetrating into the water to produce algae. So otherwise you'll have really grimy water and green roots, but as you can see, everything looks super healthy. Oops, I just dumped water. Yeah, everything looks really, really healthy, and obviously you can see the roots have pretty much consumed the entire container. So I found a jar in my shed, and I actually just gorilla taped the tray leaf trellis right onto the back of the containers. So something like that. Now all I have to do is take this out of the pot. Now in previous repottings, I have had to smash containers. Like I use normally pickle jars, and the top is quite a bit narrow, so when you go to remove the plant, you can't. But this one, it's a nice solid straight surface. I should be able to just pull this right out. place it in the new container. I'll fill it up with some room temperature tap water. I just have one thing to show you guys before I take it out of the jar here. Now, as most of you know, I have been dealing with thrips downstairs here in my basement. I feel like I got a pretty good handle on it. But if you see little speckling like this along the petioles of, or the stems of your monsteras, or really any plant, that is thrip damage. So right down here, all this little speckling, and a lot of times you'll see it in the little crevices right there as well. So the petiole sheath, you'll find them right in there. And a lot of times you'll just see these little white specks just on the stem. So I just spray it down, but I like to just squish them and take them off. But I just wanted to show that. So if you ever see this portion of the stem kind of bronzing or browning, little speckles, it just looks like parts are dying. I know there's strips here. I can't find them, but I know they're there. If you see any of that sort of thing, like this area right here, you can see nice, healthy, green, white up here, and then down here, it's a little bit more brown. So just one thing to keep an eye out for when you're kind of looking over your plants. This is actually my second attempt at putting a Thai constellation into water. Now, the first time what I did is I filled up a container or a jar with, I want to say, fairly cold water. I didn't check the temperature or anything like that, and the plant quickly died, obviously due to cold root shock. Now, what I've been doing is checking the temperature with my little trusty thermometer here, and it is 21.1 degrees Celsius, so that is room temperature. It is good, and yeah, it's not going to shock the roots. Just going to take this out of the pot here, or the jar. Look at these roots. Look at how healthy and white these are. So I'm just going to stick it in this pot right here. Now I don't want it completely submerged, so I'm actually going to bring it up like this, and then I just have some twine, which I'm going to just wrap around. I actually found a piece of plant Velcro, so I'm going to use this instead. It's just going to give me more support as I place this on the little support stake here. So I'm just gonna, I can adjust it as needed, but this one I'm just gonna cinch up like that, and yeah, there, maybe something like that. Now, it's not the greatest setup. Like, eventually this will start to grow up the plank, but right now you can see there's this horizontal portion. It's kind of veering upwards. I don't want to like prop it up this way, because then the leaves will be literally hitting the floor. So I'll just let the plant naturally grow up the back of the plank here. And I just added that burlap rope here just to add a little bit more support, just so it doesn't flop from side to side. So yeah, it's not the greatest, most secure setup right now, but it'll do until the plant starts growing. Now I'm just going to find my little pump here, the one that I took apart. I'm just gonna plug it in, let that water start percolating. Okay, now we're bubbling, and I have about 4 mils of the Foliage Pro, which I'm just going to dump in like that. I just have a little Tylenol, liquid Tylenol measuring cup, which I use for my Foliage Pro fertilizer, and we'll let that mix up. Now for a cover pot, I'm just going to use this plastic nursery pot. I'm just going to pop it right in there like that. That way there is no light, again, getting to the roots. That way there's no algae buildup. Oh, my little pump stopped. Is it dead? There we go. It just needs a little tap every once in a while. I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, please... Oh, it stopped again. Oh, it's dead. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. I appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, everyone. Bye.